Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our SARC presentation. Today we'll be talking about department spotlights for careers and internships for sociology. So thank you for coming by and let's get started. So we'll begin with introductions. So my name is Brianna. I'm a fourth year. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm an education and sociology double major, and I'm currently a SARC peer consultant. And I am also a peer academic advisor for the School of Education. So the important question is, what is sociology? So sociology is part of the social sciences, and it studies human social relationships as well as networking. And sociology provides an opportunity for students to learn about social networks as well, and opportunities to develop cultural competence and critical and analytical thinking and understanding how the world around you works with individuals around you and communities, and just learning through their communities. So common career paths with sociology. These are common career paths, but it's not just that. There's different careers that you go in with your sociology degree. So your degree provides you great feedback as well and background for any job that you're interested in because of the broad concepts, and as well as understanding individuals, so you're able to interact with your coworkers and your audience in your job. So for example, with your sociology degree, you get it could be a social researcher as well. So go into research after your bachelor's degree. You could be a social worker, a data analyst as well, counselor, as well as educational counselor or mental health counselor. And then you can be a lawyer as well. So sociology can provide you the feedback and background, just like a political science major would. And then you could also be a human resource manager and work in HR. And you could also be a public relations specialist as well. So then you have that under your belt. So for career development during your undergrad, you could begin these programs so that you could get experience as well. So I recommend trying out the summer academic program. So that's just I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show the program that students join here at UCI with the School of Social Sciences. So right here is a summer academic enrichment program, and it gives like a 5-week on-campus program for students who are interested in research, and it provides you just like a process of how your research would be if you were to go to grad school, as well as like your master's or PhD program. So this is a really great resource as well. Then I'm going to go back to our presentation. So also, I also recommend the sociology honors program because that's within the Department of Sociology, and it's a 1-year process where you're matched with a mentor, so a faculty or professor, and you're able to develop your own research paper with the faculty as well, and you're able to present it at the end of the year, so during your spring quarter. So you begin from fall and then on. And I really recommend this program because you're pushed out of your comfort zone, and you're also researching your specific topic that you're interested in. So UCI has a bunch of professors, sociology professors, that have so many research topics that they're also interested in. So it's a really great opportunity to develop networking as well, and having a mentor, and then as well as Europe. So Europe, I recommend that as well because you're able to have your proposal for your sociology project, and you can also develop your skills throughout that way if you're interested in research in the future. And then I also recommend throughout UCI like internships on campus or off campus as well, whichever you're interested in. And just checking out like Handshake and Indeed and LinkedIn as well, just to see if there's any like opportunities. And also recommend joining a club or org to develop your interest. And also during the presentation, feel free to have questions too. So I'll be checking the chat as well. So Lucia asked, will the slides be shared with us at the end of the meeting? They'll be shared at the end of the meeting as well. So thank you for that question. There you go. And then next. So some career exploration tools I really recommend using is a focus to career. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. So you could find this website on the UCI division, UCI career division pathways. So this is a really cool tool that I used during my second year that I didn't know about, but it's really helpful. So it's focus too. And then you click right here, and then you would log in, and they give you like tests, so like a skills test or a as well as a skills test and assessment of your interests too. So you're given 6 to like 5 quizzes, and you're able to explore your interest through that as well. So the cool thing is, after you're done with your quizzes, they give you a list of careers that would go well with the answers that you gave. But you could always like check them out as well, and they give like the skills that are needed, and they go into deeper detail as well. And you could also like show the majors that are needed, but you already have your sociology degree, so you already have that like under your belt. And then they give as well as education too, so like future education. So for example, if you want to be a counselor for a high school, right, you would need a master's as well to interact with students. So in this website, they'll give you like access to tools to know what you need for the future, as well as the process. And then I also recommend the Occupational Outlook Handbook, which we're going to check that out as well. I'm going to tell you my experience. So let's see. So for example, I'm interested in counseling. So I would type in counseling, for academic counseling. So let's see. This will pop up. So it's really interesting because there's different like aspects. So I'm going to check out the school and career counselors and advisors. So this is really helpful too. This is just like focus to career without the quiz. So here you could like see the salary and like the entrance like for education, and then work experience, right? And then like the outlook, the job outlook too. So then keep that in mind as well to see when you're looking into careers that you're interested in, and see like the areas of growth. And then I told you the work environment. It's really important when you're searching for a career, and also like thinking of what you want to do in the future. So thinking about how you want to interact in your space. If you want for example, school counseling, I have to see if I want to work in a public school or a private school, depending as that as well, and as well as the age group too. And then they also have like different things like for states and like in areas if you're interested as well, because it's important to look back at the area as well and see which areas need more employment. And there's also similar occupations too, so we can click that. And then it's really helpful because if I'm interested in counseling and I want to think about other things as well, I can see, oh, I could also be a like social human service assistant as well. And then it just goes on, and you could do your own research too. I'm going to go back on the slide. So I also recommend the American Sociological Association website too. So that's like gives you information as well as like research papers too. And you can like look at your research interests too, and learn about different aspects through there as well. And then these are some of the websites that I recommend students to use and like to begin with. So I recommend Handshake, and then LinkedIn and Indeed. And with my personal experience, I believe that Handshake is really helpful because you're able to interact with employers and then learn through that aspect as well. And then for LinkedIn, you could like see different careers, and then they have notifications too. So that's a good thing about Handshake, LinkedIn, and Indeed. And you can also save like career interests as well, and like job positions too. And then I also recommend the SARC internship database as well. So during your time here in your undergrad, you could check out that too, and we can check that out together. So I'm going to pull up the SARC website. And then one thing is we have a database for internships. So you can check this out. And then we have a PDF of on-campus and off-campus internships. So with sociology, right, it's a broad major, so you're able to like go into like different fields as well. So you could check out, for example, education, right? I could see what is offered too, like outside of UCI, and then HR as well. So I could see from there, and I could do my own research and see the skills needed for each job. So I also recommend checking out the Anteater Network. So this is a really cool website that is provided by the School of UCI. So you're connected to alum. So right here, you see my screen is giving me options to log in through my UCI Net ID. So you're able to log in through your UCI Net ID, and you're able to interact with alum. So for example, right, this presentation is about sociology. So you could, if you're interested specifically in sociology, you could you could look up online on the database sociology, and it pops up sociology majors and alum that had that degree. And then you can see the possible jobs that they have already, right? So then you can email them, like message them and like reach out to them. It may feel intimidating, but it's okay. They want to help as well, and they want to be mentors for you. So you can ask them questions. I really recommend as well as asking them like their day-to-day. So you could see like from, for example, we could talk about counseling again. So I could like message a counselor and say, how does it feel like working in like this environment, right? So like if I'm interested in distinguishing public and private like institutions for school, and I could see that as well. And then I recommend just having questions, and sometimes also if you want to like learn more about their career, you can also ask for like a Zoom call. So you could say like an email, you can send them an email and like let them know. I also recommend that too. So I'm going back to the presentation. So as I mentioned before, like I recommend to contact like employers too. So on Handshake, you could see that the employers are listed there. So then you can always like learn about that too, and like let them know that you're interested. And you could also network too, which is really important. So as I mentioned before, the Anteater Network, you could network through that way, or your professors too. You could let your professors know like your interest as well with your major, with your sociology major, and like your career goals. And then they can help you through there and then gain mentorship that way. And I could also mentor with the faculty that you're working with right now, right? So for example, I'm working in SARC and the PA office. I'm able to interact with my supervisors. So I really recommend gaining those relationships and asking them questions like how did they get to their position? What do they recommend? Like advice, like things that they wish that they knew like during their undergrad. So then we could take that on as well and like take that in consideration. And I also recommend to always have like a resume on hand or like a cover letter. So like when you're talking to jobs or sending them emails, like they might ask for resume like after they follow up with you. So I recommend having a resume. But I also recommend having a resume specifically for the job that you're interested in. So you'll have like a different resume for an advisor and a researcher for sociology. So it'd be different. So I recommend coming into SARC as well, and we could help you too. Our peer consultants could help you and show you how to have a master resume, but also have skills that could help you with that as well for the specific job, and also cover letters that are more specific for each job too. And you could expand on your experiences. And a really important thing is to follow up with your employer. So in interviews too, once you found like the job that you're interested in on campus, I recommend following up with the interviewer like 2 to 3 days after, or like a week after, and like let them know that thank you so much for like interviewing me, and then they'll see that you're interested in the job too. So also, as I mentioned before, it's really important to expand your circle and like network as well as with your peers too. So you can always share your interests with your peers, and they might have opportunities for you, right? So they might see something correlated to the career that you're interested, or as well as like anything with your sociology major too. So I recommend that as well. And then here's a sample of a SARC resume from SARC Event Eater. So we could like show like the formatting too. So during our SARC consultations, you could always come to us, and we will also provide templates for you all. And then also we'll have like multiple like templates and like samples for you for to have like different examples for your jobs. And then also, as I mentioned before, so a really important thing is when you're networking with individuals, it's important to ask for like informational interviews. So yeah, so like during your job search and like throughout undergrad, it's really important to just see and research like the job itself, and like go into deeper like research as well, and like see what happens around the job, like things that you wouldn't think would happen. So it's important to talk to individuals that are actually working the job right now, and see like their take as well, and see like their advice. So when you're applying or when you're working through like grad school, if grad school is needed for your job, you can see that as well. But that's what I really recommend too for your job and internship. So always ask questions as well. So don't be afraid to like have some questions. And yeah, so thank you for joining us for our sociological presentation. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them down below in the Q&A area or in the chat too. So thank you for coming, and I hope you'll have a great week 7. But we'll be here, and feel free to have any questions or tell me about like your experience and like things that you're interested in as well, and then we could try to discuss that too. But thank you for coming.
It looks like we have a question in the Q&A, Brianna.
So for SARC, you don't need work study. You could apply to us to apply. You could apply to SARC, and it's an internship, so you would be here for like 7 to 10 hours, but it's you use it for like academic credit. So that would be my answer.
Yes, great job. And yeah, it is unpaid, so a work study would not be required.
Great question though. Thank you. Any more questions? It could be about SARC, it could be about sociology. Yes, so these tools could help you narrow down a career interest. So focus to career, the focus to career program on division of career pathways. They could see like specifically like with these quizzes, and they'll have questions for you for scenarios as well. So you'll be able to see which careers go with you more. And also I recommend like getting experience too. So I was interested in counseling, and then I was able to work with high school students and then work with college students. So then I could see what like area, like population I want to work with, like high school students or college students, and that helps you narrow down the process. And it's okay if it takes time too to like narrow down processes too. So you could just see where it fits you the most, and then also just trying out different things too. So if you're also interested in a different like career path, try that as well. And then also like do things out of your comfort zone. So like join different clubs that have like different interests. So for example, like human resources, I saw like that club is really interesting. So I saw some of my peers take on that club, and they're able to see like I'm interested in counseling and human resources. So you could also do that as well. Do you have any more questions? So the question is, the student is going to study abroad and they want to apply to the social science academic enrichment program. So yes, you would have to be committed to the program because you're going to work with your cohort and you'll be like advising developing like a research paper with them and just gaining skills through that way. So I recommend applying like next summer as well, or also like joining research labs that can help you develop research skills too. Like if you're not able to join anything in the summer, you could always do it in the academic year too. And SARC will also help you with research, finding research labs and like emailing professors and putting yourself out there too. So if you're also interested in that, I recommend having an appointment with us, and as well as walk-ins too. We could have like virtual walk-ins and in-person walk-ins too. Thank you for all these questions. Mhm. Any more questions? Thank you for coming.